she didn't want to do the boring stuff because it didn't meet her artistic needs and stuff. But I'm sorry, but good artists need those fundamentals. First and foremost, you need that discipline.
Oh, this hoe trying to take deep breaths?
Yes! Once upon a time in YouTube land, there was an art community who made so-called art, but there was one YouTuber named Kelsey Rodriguez.
You guys are here for How to Launch Your Art Career 101, right? If you are tired of posting 7 times a week on Instagram only to be frustrated at the fact that you're not growing, and if you're sick of the pressure to constantly create new content to appease the algorithm, you should start a YouTube channel instead.
Now, Chelsea, being the art guru in business, was like,
She's like, you know what I know? Art.
I never really actually thought that I was going to be a full-time artist. I wanted to desperately. It wasn't until I hit my junior year of college that I really wanted to try it, to really want to give it my all. And I started this channel actually the summer before my senior year. To be honest, I didn't learn very much. They weren't really my thing. And no offense to my professors, they were lovely people doing the best they could in the flawed system they were operating in. But I can't say that those classes gave me the fundamental art skills that I needed to solve the creative problems that I'm encountering in my creative practice.
Oh, this hoe trying to take deep breaths?
Yes! I did not come away from those classes with any lasting understanding of the skills that I really need to succeed as an artist. And ever since I graduated, I've been trying to teach myself everything on my own through resources that I've found online. And while I do think I'm growing faster than I was before, I don't think that I'm growing as fast as I could be, that I know that I'm capable of. Because studying art without art school is just genuinely really tricky. There is no one to hold me accountable, to force me to study the art fundamentals that I find really boring. And the boring stuff, of course, just happens to be the things that are genuinely holding me back the most, that are really preventing me from being able to make that art that I really want to make. One of the really big things that I learned from trying out the 100 Heads challenge a couple months ago is that I just genuinely do not have the willpower or the stamina to force myself to study those boring art fundamentals for a long time. I just can't.
Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure.
Now, art creator and YouTuber Morgue Design, who has a massive boner for Pedro Pascal and serving Hermie to realness, who wants to grow up and be a dentist, made a video about Kelsey.
1. Buy a template from her website. Or 2. Keep watching videos on her channel and give her AdSense. Or 3. Contribute to an audience that she's able to sell for brand deals. Or 4. God forbid, she convinces me to pay her actual money for coaching or to attend her workshops. Or 5. I forgot to mention this earlier, but her 5th source of income is affiliate marketing. So if I click a referral link because I want to use her camera, she makes money from convincing me to follow in her footsteps. Well, the way that she starts this video is absolutely audacious. She starts by mentioning this taboo around money and makes it seem like she's letting us in on a secret, as if no one else is going to be honest with you, but I'm different and I'm going to let you in on this secret because I care about you and I don't want you to get taken advantage of.
Needless to say, shit got real. And shots fired, bitch. Ooh, my nipples are hard.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Henry Haight. If you're new here, I'm an artist, multidisciplinary, and this is a place where we talk about all things art, critiquing art, my actual practices in art, and my madman ramblings, yada yada yada. Today is going to be the topic about 2 things actually. Is YouTube and Instagram killing art? And what is an artist? What categorically, the Oxford Dictionary defines the use of imagination to express feelings or ideas, especially in drawing, painting, or sculpture. The skill of creating objects such as paintings and drawings. Examples of objects such as a painting, drawing, or sculptures. That's the Oxford Dictionary. I don't like the American version because it's starting to just water down things. Now, this is the main key focus on, YouTube tends to have this romanticized idea of being an artist and what is an artist. And when I was a kid, I actually thought to be an artist, you were in a room painting and just making this great stuff, and people would buy it and people would love my work and I would become famous and everything would be hunky-dory. There's the reality and then there's the fantasy, and fuck me. The reality is far different than the fantasy, and YouTube has this categorically curated picture, what an artist does in a day and stuff, and someone's come under fire who I have a beef with, and I don't hate this person first and foremost, okay? So if you want to come with me with your pickaxes and everything, no, I don't hate this person. What I take issue with, I have umbrage with a lot of these YouTubers. They have very young and impressionable an audience, and they claim that that they are an artist.
When people say, I'm an artist. Oh, really? I believe history will be the judge of that.
However, the content they create maybe once or twice a month to outweighs the actual artistic output. And if you were to actually look at working artists, the atmosphere of their environment is, not with plants, not with candles, and this picturesque Martha Stewartist type of studio thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, I do think that art YouTubers, see it as a dirty word. And there's nothing wrong with being an art YouTuber. Nothing wrong with it. First and foremost, okay? Own it. But it took me, I was 43 when I thought, oh shit, am I an artist? Okay. And even when I was a tattooist, a tattoo artist, I said, well, I tattoo. And because that's what I did, but I didn't feel that I earned it.
I don't think I ever knew I wanted to be a singer.
Today,
I wanted to be...
do you know now?
Yes,
So
I know now.
it happened somewhere along the line.
But very recently, I mean, literally in the last, I'm serious, in the last 10 years, I was
Really?
like, I'm really good at this actually, and I enjoy it, and I guess this is what I do for a living. This is my thing.
In the last 10 years?
The last 10 years.
And that's where it begins, at the very, very beginning. Learning discipline. Not because it's about you. It's about the fucking artwork. What you are creating. That's what matters. The artwork. The skill. Because that is what's going to get you further. First and foremost. Not what you fucking want. What you want to do is first and foremost. That should be. And right now, YouTube has an algorithm to where you have to edit your videos by 2-3 seconds a piece. And virtually, I do think that YouTube is kind of killing art because they suppress what actual real art is, the creation of the actual art. I do think these YouTubers make artwork. Are they artists? Time will tell. Because the passion has to come from the belly, and virtually it's not this flippant thing like, oh, I'm going to be an artist and paint large pictures and stuff. And one of the things is, when you're painting an 8-foot painting, your demographic of buyers is this small because they're going to need room for that. Sculptors, they need space. And right now, with the housing market and everything else, the cost of living going through the roof. You have actual established $1 million artists, blue chip artists, on the brink of financial ruin because they too are feeling the pinch. Art is not a necessity. Okay? Artists do it because they want to, they have to, and it's a physical, intrinsic need to create something and put it out there. And I was selling a piece through Saatchi Art, and the question asked me on the transfer note and the invoice, is this a cultural good? And a cultural good is something like the Mona Lisa, statue of David, and I'm like, there was another challenge. Henry, create a cultural good. That is where I'm focusing my work, to try to create a cultural good. It may fucking take me 30, 50 years. There are artists who virtually became renowned in their 70s and their 80s, and they're fucking still cranking out work. But they fucking had ebbs, lows, highs, everything. But right now, YouTube is like, I'm an artist. This is what I do. And I believe that they're more on the edge of craft. Now, with someone like Kelsey Rodriguez, yes, I have said certain things about her. I think I said she's no more of an artist than the boil on my ass. Because, again, I believe, and I'm sticking to this, only time will tell. However, I got to say something nice before I go back in. She's got to hustle. So I give her full props for that. When I was trying to figure out, doing research of like how to become a YouTuber, a content creator, because my right now sales are fucking dire. And when I put in I've recently put in a proposal for an artwork that would actually give me a lot of money. That is going to take 2 to 3 months just for I was shortlisted, but now they're like, okay, we're going to go from phase 1 to phase 2, and we're going to talk money and stuff. And I was like, these are the things that working artists, certain artists, have to contend with. Now, illustrators, graphic designers, they can make merch and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, and they create artwork. Because they're essentially building a brand, and they have a clear and concise vision of what their artwork is, a running theme, a feel, an aesthetic, a style, and virtually that shapes their body of work and who they are as an artist. I don't know who any of these YouTubers are as an artist, because yes, they make lovely pictures, but there's lots of shit like that in Hobby Lobby, IKEA, and right now, especially with what's happened recently with the election, this should fucking be the bell jar moment where you go, you know what, I'm going to rebel, because all art is under threat. Working actors find it difficult just to make $27,000 a year just to get health insurance. $27,000. That's just slightly over a living wage, and they are struggling to make that. Musicians don't get shit, through streams and stuff like that. However, YouTube and Instagram kill art because the attention span of the new generation of art lovers is that of a fucking goldfish. And do I want to make a video that is going to be and have that person as a customer who's going to look at my work and virtually is not, I have to virtually move them within 2 seconds? Really? Rob Beadle, I think his name is Beadle, he made a video about why music is in decline and stuff like that. And virtually, he hit the nail on the head.
So this is the water faucet in my kitchen. But imagine this is streaming on Spotify or Apple Music. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, but what's going on in the stream of water is all of the music that's on these platforms. Now imagine this is one artist's entire output, their entire catalog. Might be The Police, could be Billie Eilish, could be Led Zeppelin, the Beatles. And then this dropper is each of their songs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I just did a whole record there. And eventually you exhaust their whole catalog. When I hit this and I start the stream, the music has very little importance if you think about it this way. It goes from the faucet, down the drain, out to the sewer, where it's recycled again. Except in this case, the music is not recycled like it is through the sewer. There were 100,000 new songs added every day in 2023 to streaming platforms. That's more than one song per second for the entire year. By comparison, when I was a kid, if I wanted to buy this Led Zeppelin 2 record, I had to get a job or borrow money from my parents to buy it because I wanted to own it. I wanted it to be in my collection. This album here, Pat Metheny, New Chautauqua, I paid $8 for, brand new, with the money that I made by bagging groceries at Tops grocery store in Fairport, New York.
Art is so accessible online to the younger generation, and they just swipe, 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 keep, and there are hundreds of videos of people going, oh, my enemy was stolen, and this, that, and the other thing, and I can't tell the fucking difference because all that shit looks the same to me. However, you know, when I made the video about Devon Rodriguez being the most followed artist in the world, great, you know, but to me, his work is no different than any metropolis that has a tourist trap where they're just doing caricatures or drawing, you know, within an hour and giving that person, and they're doing these $30, $40 jobs, you know, just sketching charcoal or pencil, whatever. Art can be a hustle. And, you know, Kelsey Rodriguez has a hustle. However, I take umbrage when it's the skill. And I've watched her videos to where she's tried to do grisaille and fails miserably. And virtually, I'm thinking, if you're going to give classes and mentorship, your work should be on par. For any business owner needs to know, you need to fucking rule and lead by example, first and foremost. And if someone's going to sit there and go, well, this is just like subpar, you're creating bad habits for these people. And we now live in a world where, you know, the commodity and currency is the attention span of a fucking medfly. And they're out. And I'm like, fuck that. Because art is true rebellion. You are telling your truth, and I don't not even say that because someone could be delusional as fuck and go, this is my truth. And I'm like, yeah, right, bitch.
Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure, Jan. Sure.
But you are rebelling and telling a story about how you see your world and what you want the person to feel when you look at that work. That's what art is. It's I said it again, a visual language. And, you know, I wouldn't have an issue with this girl. I'm sure she's lovely. If she was just like the others, hey, draw with me. But, you know, she falls into the suit of all these others that virtually they want it. This is what I do in a day. This, you know, none of them have their studios, you know, being taken to turn into luxury flats or, you know, pirated. Well, some of them probably do, but it's not direct work that you can tell is actually stolen, like a Warhol or, you know, or the shit behind me. But she's still developing. And only time will tell if, you know, in 15, 12 years, she's still cranking it out. But, you know, the whole, your strategy video was too vague for me. because she was just throwing ideas to stick it whatever is on the wall.
What the hell was that?
And Morgue design, God love him. When I think of Kelsey and Morgan, I do think that, especially with people like them and a few others, that their aspiration exceeds the technicality. And there's nothing wrong with that. First and foremost, there is nothing wrong with that. I look at everyone's work and see, if there's a consistency through social media, because that is how you're going to market yourself. On whatever platforms, it has to be coherent and cohesive throughout, because that is your calling card. And a lot of these new people, they don't. They're like, okay, I'm taking my shop down for a month or two. Brands and successful businesses are open all the time. And, a lot of younger people are like, no, I just want to relax. And it's the ones that are fucking hungry that really want it. I mean, want it. That fucking elbow someone. No, you can't do that. But they want it. They envision it. They see it, and then they achieve it. And when I set out, no one was going to give me a job drawing, and tattooing helped me do that. And then virtually little by little, but I was just doing the work. I didn't think I'm going to be an artist. And then when I started getting really serious about art and painting and stuff, I had a lot of learning curves. And even then, I still didn't have the confidence in myself, because that was something that I had to deal with my personality and therapy to sort out, because I didn't feel that I was good enough. And it wasn't until I was in my 40s, I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. I think I have talent, and I do think that there is talent in Kelsey Rodriguez, first and foremost. Yeah, she has a talent. However, it's not honed, and that's all right. She, if she just made videos like, hey, paint with me, draw with me, great. If she could be the next Thomas Kincaid, and that'd be fine. And be the end of it. When you're trying to be an artist, you're on an uphill battle. You don't need a painting. But my suggestion, or my question to both of these people is, where do you want to take your art in 10 years or 15 years time? Where do you see it going? Who is your buyer? Who is your primary target audience? What do you want to do with that art? And how are you going to market yourself? Because you're going to have to do it all the time. If this is your business, there's no fucking time off. You could read all the books going, oh, slow progression. Someone else want to fucking take your place and hungry for it. And because you're young enough, you have the stamina, you should be fucking fearless. And I give her credit. She's fearless at just going, she went gung-ho balls deep in it. And props to that. But, she needs to ask herself, what's going to happen when my audience ages out? And on YouTube, fucking people are fickle. I don't give a shit, because, these videos, I'm like, leave them in maybe in 10 years, one kid sees this and goes, I like this. That's why I do this. Because I'm speaking to that 1 or 2 people out there who really go, I like this dude, and I like what he has to say, and I like his work, and he has validity in what he's saying. Because it is always going to be an uphill battle. I do commissions I recently did a commission for a high maintenance client, and virtually graphic work. And 6 hours before the deadline, she gives me a completely different design brief, and I lost my fucking shit.
Oh, you don't owe her shit!
Will you keep your voice down?
You don't owe her shit.
And I'm comfortable enough at where I'm at in my career to where I can fucking explode, because one, she's used me before for her stuff, and I was just like, ah. But I just got on with it. these are the things that you have to remember, is that one, pressure makes diamonds. And if you're putting that pressure on yourself to take where you want to go, if you want to be an illustrator, you want to make stickers, you're going to have to figure out how and who's our target audience and where you're going to figure it. But right now, we're all on even me, on an uphill battle of trying to get someone's attention span, even though we have to entertain them, educate them in under 3.5 seconds and over 2.5 minutes to keep them watching. And virtually, to me, that isn't someone who's actually going to buy artwork. Those are the people who are just going to take, your pictures off Instagram and put them in the, and like put them on Etsy and try to sell the shit. And I've seen people like saying, oh, but and I've had to start to lawyer up and even virtually get some of my work copyrighted here by the U.S. Patent Office. But it's never ending, and it is an uphill climb. And that is the thing that I was honest with myself if I was going to do this. Tattooing was one thing, but then the playing field for me shifted when I decided, okay, I'm going to take this art thing really, really seriously. Ruby Trinket says that, it's impossible for, I'll let her tell you.
It's model I made. Like I said earlier, when you're self-employed, you are a small business. And as a business, it is simply not possible to create art, post it on a website, and get customers.
First, your tone.
And I'm like, what? Oh, no, you can do it. There are hundreds of artists, thousands of artists who are one-man army or one-woman army and fucking do it. The excuse for the people who say that, because they just don't want to do it. They want the easy way. And nothing worth having is easily gained. However, you'll fight tooth and nail to fucking keep it if you know it's worth it. And, I hope that, Morgue and Kelsey keep creating work and virtually progress. I honestly do. I want them to progress as artists, because all artists are going to look at their older work and go, fuck, this sucks. But I do truly believe that YouTube quashes what actual art is, and virtually when you look at what YouTube considers art, it's cute if I was, a 14-year-old girl beating or making those diamondy jelly things, like a puzzle. It does a disservice to the people who spend hours upon hours trying to make work. But I do believe that, this is a time where you really should be working and developing your skill and experimenting and failing and getting up and redoing something over and over again to where you have that light bulb moment to go, because she said in one of her videos she didn't want to do the boring stuff because it didn't meet her artistic needs and stuff. But I'm sorry, but good artists need those fundamentals. First and foremost, you need that discipline, paramount. You need to make them go, oh, not okay, yeah, that's great. And, because we already live in a fast fashion world. And, again, nothing wrong with stickers. I've made t-shirts and I sold everything, but I have different entry levels for all my customers, from tattooing to paintings. So, I make myself accessible to everybody, well, almost everybody, but I believe that's what a lot of YouTubers kind of lack, in a sense. They have this reasoning that, I didn't draw it this way, or the verticality. No, you have to fucking learn the principle. If you're not doing it right, then don't do it at all, because you're just becoming lazy. I force myself sometimes to fucking sit with, I'm not finished with this painting here, but I have to sit there and fucking go till my gut says, yes, this reads right. It is part of what I signed up for, and I owe it to the work. The starting is easy, but following through and making it, because that's what a customer, your professionalism starts with that discipline. You know, you could have all the fucking marketing and strategies in the fucking world, but if you don't have an actual discipline and an acumen to virtually do the work, the fundamentals, you're just going to fall short because you're chasing a whim. And if you're chasing money, well, eventually, like any high, it dies out, and your pursuit of why you're doing the art for money is going to stop. I just realized this fucking made me look like I've got some sort of wig. Anywho, you know, I don't think I do apologize to Kelsey for what I said online, because yeah, it was just unfair. I should have just been more honest. Look, if you're gonna fucking charge people money to like mentor them, you should have fucking skills to do that, not sponsorships to go, hey, YouTube, because you're mismanaging their expectations, and that reflects on you. And secondly, if your inspiration for creating art is, based on the trolley problem or the trolley situation, and the ones who walk away from Amalus, rather than a piece of work that spoke to you, that said, "Oh my God, this is magical," because I don't know who you are as an artist. I know you paint trees, I know you paint rocks, and there are lots of pretty pictures out there that end up in charity shops. But what is going to define you as an artist? And this question goes to Morgue design. Other than painting Pedro Pascal, you paint him naked. That'll get you some attention. But right now, I'm known for painting men, and right now, being at my parents' home, it's brought me back to my youth and what was inspiring me to virtually create. Warhol was a very, very deep influence on me, and there's a running theme through that work. But I think that for me, that what is considered actual art and an artist has been diluted by Instagram and by YouTube. Because when I was younger and I wanted to buy a record, I got a job, and there were certain album covers, that were designed by Von Oliver, and I go over my inspiration in my book video. I'll leave the description, a link to the description in the blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but his album covers were so cool, and Frank Kozik did a lot of fucking posters to bands that I loved. It's the soundtrack to my life. And if Frank Kozik didn't do your fucking poster, your band sucked. And that was one of the things that I was like, okay, I need to fucking, do my research. And I own a Frank Kozik. And I was fortunate to have a discussion with him years ago, about 22 years ago, his first show in London, and I asked him and he's like, just fucking do the work. Just, fuck everything and just do it. Just to keep doing it till you get it right. And I never forgot that. And unfortunately, Frank Kozik killed himself, but he was an artist for the people. He kind of put the pulse on designer toys and the rock poster, which made them highly collectible. And he was a pop artist. He wasn't aspiring to be a Damien Hirst or anything like that. But right now, kids virtually just collect things and they don't really think about it. And it's hard enough to try to make a living at this. So again, you got to keep creating. And eventually your gut's going to tell you, I'm an artist. And no one's going to take that away from you. Once you actually feel it, you've created a body of work, you stand behind it, and you go, fuck everyone else. This is my ultimate rebellion. I am creating a world that I see and feel that I want to make to the greater out there in YouTube, in the real world, the physical world, and that can be your visual legacy. But right now, when you're young, you should be piss and vinegar, following left, right, and center, and just trying to fucking find it. Learn the discipline. So with that, I'm going to shut up. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the notifications and all that. And I will see you in the next video. And again, thank you for watching. And guys, just keep creating and fuck everyone else. And just do the work. Learn the fundamentals. All right? Peace. Bye.